Hi, my name is Eric Wohl. I'm the Vice President of HR Operations and Leadership and Organizational Development for Dish Network, based in Denver, Colorado. I'm responsible for the field HR generalist teams for manufacturing and our in-home services organization, and then learning and org development for the rest of Dish, assessments, employee engagement, succession planning, and leadership development. CLOs these days face a lot of challenges around how you gain senior leadership buy-in for your initiatives. At Dish, what we're trying to do is make sure we always understand what the business initiatives are first and foremost. In our particular case, our challenge is to make sure that we're positioning the company with new capabilities for our next generation of products and services. So as you read about Dish, you'll learn that we're trying to become a wireless company, not just a core video provider. For us, that means that we need to improve our ability to attract and retain top talent. We need to learn how to deepen and broaden our bench for the future. We need to improve cross-functional collaboration, and then we need to improve our speed, agility, and flexibility. Those are the four major talent-related initiatives that we're focused on in our org development and leadership development initiatives. So the question is, how can you in your role as a CLO help your organization become more change-oriented and agile in a very dynamic marketplace? At Dish Network, we compete in the telecom space against some very, very good competitors, AT&T, Verizon, DirecTV, Comcast, the regional cable companies, as well as emerging threats like Hulu and Netflix. And our challenge is, in an industry that's changing quite rapidly, how do we stay ahead of the curve? So we've always been entrepreneurial, but for us, the way we are trying to stay ahead of the curve from a learning and org development perspective is get really close to the business. So my team and I spend a lot of time meeting with our executives to understand what are their business strategies, not just for the current year, but looking 2 to 3 years out. And based on that, we have a conversation about capabilities they're trying to develop. So the conversation around capabilities in our particular case has led to 3 major themes for our leadership development work. The first is, frankly, how to become a great place to work. Not a new idea, but an emerging strategy for Dish. And here we're making sure that our senior leadership team is really working on visible demonstration of great behaviors for how we treat and lead employees. Secondly, we're working on introducing new simple tools that our leaders can use to build high-performing teams and high-performing organizations. And then third, we're working hard on collaboration to make sure that we can build business acumen for whatever challenges we face in the future. In our particular case, it's not clear exactly what we're going to do in the industry, but we're going to make some changes, and the organization needs to be ready. A common challenge we all face is how do you build visible, sustained commitment from your senior leadership team to your initiatives. In our particular case at Dish, how we've done that is really twofold. One is we spend a lot of time talking to them individually and collectively about the types of business challenges and capabilities they need for the future so that our initiatives were very business focused, not HR focused. Secondly, we also involved them personally. In the design of our leadership development and org development initiatives, I formed them into what we call our lead steering team. All 18 senior and EVPs representing every department of the company were involved and have been involved every single week to help design the program. They were the first to go through it on a pilot basis, and then also help by sponsoring the individual workshops that have rolled out for their executives beneath them over the last few months. We meet every week, and we're working on 4 critical themes coming out of the workshops, which involve them personally because the recommendations that came from the workshops are for them to decide what they want to implement. The 4 themes have to do with investment in talent. How do we build a culture of appreciation? Third, how do we drive greater levels of trust? And then fourth, we hope to drive increased ambassadorship throughout in our products and services and company. And through those 4 themes, we're working on a wide range of initiatives that they are deciding what to implement, how and when. So they're personally involved every single week, and that has created a level of accountability that we wouldn't have otherwise. All of us face business challenges. Your leaders will come to you and ask, what type of tools can you introduce to help us become higher performing? At Dish, what we've learned is it's not so much a function of how many tools you can bring that oftentimes come across as fairly academic or overwhelming or HR-centric. What we've learned is that fewer models is critical. And then secondly, it's all about how you use them. What we've learned over time, unlike our foundational leadership development work, which was kind of management 101, with our executives, we actually have introduced very, very few tools, and it's all about having them apply them in the workshops in a very experiential way. So some of the tools are actually quite traditional, and you'd recognize many of them, but we use them in a light way and have them spend a lot of time talking to each other about business challenges, and it feels like they're talking about the business, and we're just gently guiding them in our workshops. So it doesn't feel very tool-centric, but in the end they say, what an incredibly good use of our time because we're talking about the business and we're linking our people strategy at the same time. Our business, just like yours, probably requires a lot of teamwork and collaboration to compete in your industry. At Dish, we felt the same pressures. We learned over time, starting back in 2008, when we really started to realize the industry had matured quite a bit and getting and keeping subscribers was very hard. We recognized our biggest opportunity was to improve cross-functional collaboration, because it takes a whole lot of different teams to win and retain a customer for life. In our particular case, how we factor that into our leadership and org development approach is we bring cross-functional teams together a lot, from product to sales to marketing to operations, finance, HR, legal, so they learn about each other's contribution to the business. And as a result of that, they walk away with much greater appreciation about the connections between teams and how it impacts customers. So we're much better at understanding how each of us contribute. We're also working together on improving the business in a more seamless way by taking on projects that require them to work together. And because of the work in our leadership programs, they're much more comfortable collaborating because they spend more time together. The last thing we're trying to do is teaching people that the ability to go ahead and make a difference is to think about change in long-term focus. So first, we have them understand you have to create a climate for collaboration, a climate for change. Secondly, we're working on engaging the whole organization in what we're doing and why we're doing it. And then finally, we work on implementing and sustaining change. We change a lot. We haven't always changed well, and we're much more sensitive to how you lead change over time through a collaborative focus. For now, what we're working on for 2015 and beyond has to do with deepening our work around leadership developments. Our Transform program is going to be rolling to middle and frontline managers starting in Q1 of 2015, and it will take the better part of a year to enroll over 2,000 managers in the program over the course of a week each. Our goal is to do a couple things. Clearly, increase cross-functional collaboration. We want to deepen the understanding of our culture as a competitive advantage. We want to help people understand how to build a high-performing team in their neck of the woods. The way we're going to do that is we're going to bring cross-functional teams together through a couple different workshops during 2015. One, cross-functionally to network with one another across department lines. Then we're going to bring management teams on an intact basis so they can work on business challenges together using concepts from the LEAD program to get better. That's our goal. The way we're going to measure that is not just showing up for the workshop, but we want to find out from their perspective, are you accomplishing your business objectives, and are the leadership tools we're introducing helping you get there more successfully? We're looking at obvious measures around reductions in turnover. We're looking at engagement increases. We're looking at our social ratings on all the various sites that are out there, because we have a consumer and an employment brand we care deeply about. And ultimately, we want to position the company to be ready for our next chapter, which we hope involves the acquisition or a partnership with another partner in the telecommunications space to transform the company. And that'll be the ultimate test of the effectiveness of our efforts. We're always trying to make sure we keep it grounded in where the business is going, and that will probably keep us on solid ground.